We read about him praying early in the morning, late in the evening and through into the night. We hear him praying at his baptism. Luke 3:21. After his baptism, it says that while Jesus prayed, the heavens opened and the Spirit came down. So Jesus was praying at his baptism. We read about him praying after much ministry. Now, I'm sure he prayed much before ministry to be ready for it, but here's a great lesson. Jesus prayed a great deal after ministry. In fact, I know of one evangelist who says, I pray more when I come back from the evangelism crusade than even I prayed before I went out. It's a very, very interesting point. Jesus prayed much after he was involved in ministry because he knew that he had to pray to get filled and protected and to be strengthened. Jesus prayed for a whole night before he selected his 12 disciples. He also prayed alone in the presence of his disciples, so much so that they said, teach us to pray. We want to pray like you pray. So it was a real great intimate prayer life that Jesus had. He prayed at his transfiguration. He prayed at the Last Supper, or in the events following the Last Supper in John's Gospel, chapter 17. He prayed in Gethsemane. He prayed for Peter. He prayed for small children. He prayed at his crucifixion. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. He prayed after his resurrection. He prayed at his ascension. And he prays after his ascension. So there's no doubt about it. Jesus fulfills this criterion of being a prophet because he interceded. And his intercessory ministry, we go into more detail in the Sword of the Spirit manual, Effective Prayer. We also see how Jesus was committed to truth, to justice, and to compassion. When we were studying the Old Testament prophets, we saw that that was a characteristic of prophetic ministry. And so, of course, Jesus is committed to these things far and above anything the Old Testament prophets fulfilled. Jesus is the truth. That's how committed he is to truth. John 14, verse 6. He is the living embodiment of truth. And so throughout his life, Jesus spoke truth, lived truth, demonstrated truth. He lived in God's compassion.